usually people will just start talking about how we need to live righteous lives and how by faith we attain it and how we can do all of these things through Bible study, but don't actually give you like a step-by-step process. So I don't really understand it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, and that is a fact in that there are many people. I doubt whether a lot of God's people really understand it. We talk about it and we debate it, but we literally need to be taught how to do it.
Yes.
And that is actually the purpose of the New Testament, to teach us how to live righteously by faith. So it is, Old Testament is Christ prophesied, Christ expected, and New Testament is Christ realized, Christ manifested. So therefore, how we realize or how we manifest Christ in our life is our daily duty. And Christ is only manifested or realized through righteousness by faith. So when you look at Abraham, God told Abraham that he's going to be the father of many nations because Abraham believed it. This is what Hebrews 11 says. God counted it to him for righteousness. So righteousness then is something that must begin and only begins with our belief. And there's a reason why it must begin with our belief, you know, because righteousness picks up exactly where Eve left it. So Eve left righteousness by faith at the foot of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That is where she laid down her belief in God, and that is where she took up her belief in a lie that the devil spoke. So righteousness always is going to begin with belief. So you begin today restructuring your belief system. When you restructure your belief system to align with what God would have you to believe, which is the truth, then you can live righteously by faith. So exactly where righteousness by faith was laid down through belief is exactly where we have to take it up. Because all of this while in the Garden of Eden, with no evidence that God was a tyrant, Eve was living a good life. She gets by the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and then she hears a lie that causes her belief system to change.
Yeah.
So instead of believing the truth that she had evidence for, this is why faith is based on evidence. So faith is not something that is blind. Faith is based on evidence. And so she had the evidence that God was love. What was that evidence? He created a world. He provided her, he gave her a life, and he created a home. He gave her a husband. So she had everything that God already provided. So she had evidence for our faith, for her faith. Likewise, we have evidences for our faith because God has done stuff for us that, hey, we know that that was God. That wasn't the job. That wasn't the family. That wasn't society. That was some Jesus. So that was God. So what I have to remember that I have to remember all of those things that God does for me. This is what keeps my faith alive. So Eve had the evidences on which to base her faith in God upon to keep living the righteous life. And she chose because she believed a lie that said to her that God was withholding something from her that she already had.
Yeah.
When she changed her belief, she changed her experience. So living righteously by faith, if we are not living righteously by faith, is because we have to address our belief system. And our belief system is going to be structured around words, the words that we believe.